All right, guys. Hey, welcome to Royal Republic's Monday night team call. We're excited that you guys all took the time out of your busy schedules to show up with us tonight and to learn and to grow your businesses. As Coach, you guys know, I'm discombobulated. I'm not going to go into recording on that. And I'm so thankful because tonight we have Marsha Smrcka doing our call. In case you guys don't know, she is a two-time elite coach, seven, right?
Eight qualifying, six star.
Sorry. Okay, she's a rock star coach. She'll be a three-time elite coach again this year. She is the creator of Team Fit Formation. And in case you guys don't know, and I'm going to totally, because I do this every single time that I introduce her, she comes from a town of like 500, right?
Plus 1,000.
Okay, I even went up that time, guys. I was going to say 200. Anyway.
Maybe it's 1,200.
Long story short, she comes from a really small town in Wisconsin. And she's been able to grow an incredible, mid-six-figure business, all from working at home with 4 kids. She has 4 kids at home. Her youngest is 3, Marin. And so she's going to get on and talk to you guys about how you guys expand your market and to help you guys build relationships and using free groups to be able to do this. So we often hear all the time, like, I don't have a market or I don't know anybody. As you guys know, this business is all about creating relationships and building trust and offering just a ton of value. So, Marsh, if you want to take it away, girl, I'm excited to hear your call.
Oh, awesome. So I just got to start out by thanking you guys first for joining the call tonight. You're obviously here because you want to learn about how to grow your business and expand your network. One thing that Alyssa left out was when I started coaching, I joined for the coaching opportunity. I found out about Beachbody health coaching through my husband. Went to high school with Alyssa. So he was seeing her posts and encouraged me to get in touch with her. I was not on any social media. I had no idea what Instagram was, what Pinterest was. I had a Facebook account, but I was inactive on it for over 10 years. I created it and I never did anything with it at all. So if you guys have it in your head that you have these obstacles against you.
Wait. Okay, I think we need to paint a picture here because Marsh, I totally forgot about that. Okay, you guys, so she had no smartphone.
Well, I will get into that, Alyssa. Let me do that part. That's the fun part. So to paint the picture for you guys, I live in a teeny tiny town. My neighbors are Amish and Mennonite. Our Sunday traffic is buggies and horses going down the road. No joke. So like Alyssa was saying, I wasn't on any Facebook. I had a track phone and my first selfies were so horrible. I used a real camera and I had to turn it around and hope that my face was in the picture. And it took me all day, I swear, to edit that photo, upload it onto my antique computer and get it on Facebook. It was like a huge thing. So right away in my business, I recognized all these other coaches who had smartphones and could take a picture in a second. I'm like, man, I got to do that. So I pushed really hard. That was my first goal, was to earn enough money so I could buy my own smartphone. So yeah, that was quite the ordeal. So anyway, I don't know where my train of thought was, but I joined for the coaching opportunity. My husband is one who was seeing Alyssa's posts. So I think about that when I'm sending out friend requests. If there are guys on my page, they're not my target niche. I prefer working with women. But if maybe my cousin's wife or a friend that I went to high school's wife, might get the information through a guy that I friend request on Facebook, I'm okay with that. So I don't ever not send out friend requests to guys for that reason. I'm picky about who I accept, I guess, or who I add, but just something to think about and throw out there since we're talking about expanding your network. But I think it really starts with your mindset. And I want to do something really fun with you guys, kind of as an icebreaker, and kind of get you guys, your minds open to what I'm going to talk to you about tonight. So if you guys have a paper and a pencil, we're going to do a fun little check your attitude inventory exercise here. And I do have some slides, but we're going to wait on that for right now. All right, so I first did this a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago, and it was really interesting to me. And the premise behind this is you are going to be really directly influenced by the people that you surround yourself with. And I want you to think about that in terms of expanding your network. I was really nervous about adding friends on Facebook. And I think a lot of us as new coaches are really afraid to put ourselves out there and to be adding all these people on Facebook. I'm not going to lie, I've had creepers that I've had to unfriend and block. You know, you filter it out. But the cool thing is, like, you're in control. You have the option to block people if you don't feel like they mesh with you or whatever. But in the process of adding all these people to my network, I started with 60 friends on Facebook. I now have, 2,500. But I love that I am in control. Like, those are the people that I want to surround myself with and grow my network with. And most of the people on there are very positive and they have the same values as me. So I don't ever worry about who I'm going to add, because I do check them out to make sure they're not a creeper person, that they're like a real person. But with the coaching network too, like, make sure you're friend requesting other coaches on your team and surround yourself with that positivity and those people, because those are going to be the ones that influence you and you can bounce ideas off of, and you can see their posts and see what they're doing and maybe gain, positivity and business inspiration from that too. All right. So what I want you to do is write down the first names of the 5 people that you spend the most amount of time with over the course of a day, week, month, and a year. Okay, so 1 through 5, who are those people? And that can be email, Facebook, and face-to-face. No pets, no fur friends, just real people. I'll give you a few minutes to think of that. The 5 people that you feel you spend the most amount of time with in your life. And it can be, like I said, virtual or face-to-face. Okay, give you enough time? For me, 1 through 4 was really easy, and I was like, man, who's number 5? It took me a while to find a number 5. Okay, so then once you have that, hopefully, does everyone have their 5? Anyone need more time? All right, so then what I would like to do is go down the list and grade their attitudes. Okay, so give them a 100% if they are positive all of the time. Give them a 0 if they are negative all of the time. So hopefully you have like a gradient value in there. So for each person, assess their attitude, a percentage.
Grade my mom's positivity attitude. What would you grade my
Okay, and then once you have that, I want you to put your name down and give your own self a rating. How do you rate yourself, your own attitude?
Out of 100.
Huh?
Out of 100.
Someone gave themselves a 100? Woohoo! If your spouse is in the room and they are on your list, you'd want to hide your paper.
50, 60.
All right, so then I want you to find the average grade of the 5 people that you spend the most time with and compare that to the grade that you gave yourself. This can be online, like what their attitude is online or in real life. Gotta go by real life. All right, so what I want you guys to look at, so you have your average of the 5 people. Okay, I'll give you a minute to get your calculator out. So take that, the average of the 5, and then you're going to compare it to what you graded yourself as. And ideally, like you want to kind of match attitude, inventory, I don't know if it's ever going to be exactly even, but if you are higher than what the average of the 5 people are, that means they're dragging you down, they're pulling you down. So you have to reassess, like, who are you spending your time with? And there's different things that you can do. Like, obviously, if one of those people is your spouse that's bringing you down, you're not just going to like leave your marriage. But it's important to acknowledge that attitudes, positive or negative, are contagious. Your attitude is the average of the attitudes of the people that you spend the most amount of your time with. If you're around negative people, most of the time, you're probably going to become negative yourself. So start spending time with positive people who are smart, driven, like-minded, who push you, who encourage you and support you. surround yourself with people who generally see the positive side of life, right? So with social media, like I was saying, you are in control of that, who you surround yourself with. Your coaching team, as you grow your team, I always look for people who are positive on my newsfeed. And if they're not, I unfriend them or I stop following them. Choose friends who love and respect you and make your day a little brighter simply by being in your life. Okay. So on the flip side of things, what are things that you can do if the people that you spend the most of the time are not very positive? You can disassociate if it is someone in your life that you are able to do that with. It's not an easy decision or something that you should take lightly, but in some cases it might need to happen. It might be someone that you are able to remove from your life, or maybe remove them as a priority of a top influencer in your life. Have limited association. So you can spend as much time as you can with the positive influences and as little time as possible with the negative influences. Okay. And then expand your associations. Okay, so this is what our topic is on tonight. So you find other positive people who you can spend more time with and invest more of your time into them. Okay, and in building those relationships, because then like the rising tide raises all ships, right? So you're gonna be supporting each other and rising with each other. All right, so hopefully you guys had a little fun doing that exercise. I know I did. It was pretty insightful for me. All right, so we are going to move on. Okay, I'm going to do my screen share here, I think, at this point. You guys will have to let me know if you can see this. Can you see my slides? Yeah. All right. So some things that you can do to improve your attitude. And you guys probably already all know this, but some things that jump out at me in regards to our business and what we're doing as coaches. Just be yourself, be unapologetically you. If you do have a bad day, we're not going to lie, and like paint this perfect image that we're all happy all the time. What I try to do is put a positive spin on it. So if I had a bad day, what do I use or do to turn it around for myself? And then I share that with other people, because I know other people have bad days too. And if I can be that positive person in their newsfeed and share with them what I do for myself, usually it's fitness or just fresh air or whatever, read some personal development, it's going to hopefully turn around and help somebody else as well. Be selective, like we're talking about, who you surround yourself with, people that are positive and push you to be better. Let's see, the be selfish on there is there for a reason, to always be filling your cup first. Do your personal development, do your workout, do the things that you need to do for your own self first, because only when you do that can you help other people in the process. So one thing when I started coaching, we're talking, probably mostly to newer coaches here, I always shared my workout and my inspiration. And if I didn't know what I was going to talk about during that day for my workout, I tried to go back to something I was learning in my personal development and use that to kind of inspire other people towards a better way of life. And it doesn't always have to be fitness related, but there's so many things that cross over with fitness and business and life in general. So I try to generalize, because not everyone is going to be a lover of fitness, but just to try to be that bright person in someone's newsfeed for the day. And just be grateful, do positive affirmations, remember to laugh and have fun. This business is a ton of fun. So just don't forget to have fun with it and laugh once in a while, be lighthearted. All right. Building a cold network while working your warm market. So for me, I was kind of doing everything all the same because I didn't really have a warm market. I asked my family right away. I got a lot of no's. I got a lot of lack of support. I think it's very common, with this business, people just don't know. They're naive. They're skeptical. They think it's a pyramid scheme and, some kind of weird thing that we're doing. So I was no different than any of you guys. My husband was my first coach, and he was supportive. So I was really lucky and fortunate with that. But beyond that, I got a lot of objections and a lot of no's from my family. So I knew that I needed to get myself out there and do whatever I could and be omnipresent as much as I could, so that I had people coming into my business. So what I did, I committed myself to Success Club every single month. And you guys hear a lot about Success Club. And to me, it's a number, but it's also people, it's lives. So I knew, Alyssa told me, the minimum is Success Club 5 or 3 people, but if you want to be a rock star, Success Club 10 is what you're shooting for. And I wanted to be a rock star. I wanted to build a business fast and do as much as I could. So I was like, you know what? Alyssa, I'm not only going to hit Success Club 10 for myself, but I'm going to hit Success Club 10 for my husband too. So that's what I worked for, that every single month is getting both my own account and his account to Success Club 10 every single month, because I recognized that that was more people that I was helping and bringing into my network. And the following month, I was getting up to 20 Beachbody leads versus just the 10 and being capped at that, because I was working his business as well as mine, like 2 of me, right? So that's what I pushed for. And when I was helping that many customers every single month, so Success Club 10 is 5 people, so no less than 10 people every month, when I really worked with them to help them get results, then I would get referrals. So you guys, it all starts with helping your customers get results. When they are getting results, people ask them naturally, like, what are you doing? And they want to be a part of that. So it's a really easy way. Well, it's not easy to help people get results always, but if you focus on that and help ensure that they're getting results, it's a way for you to get referrals down the road, right? Or they are motivated and inspired by what you're doing and growing a business that they want to turn on and coach as well. So that's the first way that I really started to grow my network, is just helping my customers get results and then referrals through that, and then them being confident enough to coach and join my team as coach. The second thing is just to be consistent and show up for your business. You have to be on Facebook every day or on whatever social media platform you're using, so that people always think of you when they're ready. Because when we invite, we might catch people on a good day, we might catch people on a bad day. We never know, but you're just planting seeds and creating awareness for them to know that that opportunity is there. So if you, and then your posts just back up and add credibility to what you're doing. So you want to show up every day. So people are seeing your posts and they're thinking of you when timing is right for them. Then they'll come back to you and say, yes, I'm ready to do this. And a little trick that I do sometimes is, if I have a post that I know was really, really good, like the thing with Facebook is, you post a post and then it's gone, 2 days later, unless something triggers it, sparks it back up. So sometimes I will go like through my pictures on my Facebook page and find a really good like coach opportunity post, or something that I want people to see or stir back up into the newsfeed. And I will like one of my comments or something on somebody's, if they commented and it had a lot of engagement, I'll go and like one of my comments, or like an unlike or something like that. I did that today to one post, and someone she met me on my like page for a post that I had boosted. So I did, she was for my cold network, and she didn't end up committing. She was in a coach sneak peek, months ago. And I forgot about her, honestly. And she, just kind of one that snuck through the cracks. But she saw that post that I kind of re-engaged on today and commented on it that, this is just what she needed to hear and needed to see. And she's ready, it makes her want to think about doing this again or something like that. So you just never know, if you have a really good post, you can recycle your posts and do that and pull them up. All right, what else was I saying here? So do people know what you're doing too? And that kind of goes hand in hand with your invites. You have to invite. If you don't, someone else will, and they're going to say yes to somebody else. I've seen it happen so many times. When I started coaching, there was nobody in my area, at least that I knew. I was, Alyssa's in Pittsburgh. I'm in the middle of Wisconsin. So we didn't have any connections that way. So it was me basically growing this business in Wisconsin. But now, my team is growing. We have almost 3,000 coaches in my downline, and we have a lot of coaches in our area. And it's good because we're making a presence and people know about coaching. But it also means that we have a lot of overlap of friends. So I just tell people, like if you don't ask them, somebody else will. Please go through your friend's page. Start at letter A and go through the A's and go through the B's and go through the C's, hit everybody, and just so that they know that you're doing this. Because a lot of times, people know about Beachbody, they know about the workouts because they're heavily advertised, but they might not know a coach, to help them get started. So they're buying it off of the Beachbody website, or they're going with someone who invites them. So make sure you're not, don't discount anybody, invite everybody on your list. Okay, what else? Okay. Attraction marketing is something else I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit. So again, you want to make sure that you're public and on social media daily. You want to make sure that you're helping 5 people at least a month, if not more. If you are here to build a serious business, you have to also consider building your spouse account if you have a spouse account. It's silly for you not to do that. And it's up to you and what makes sense as far as timing of when to do that. But for me, Adam was my first coach, my husband, and then he was also my first Emerald coach and helped me get to Diamond. And then at that point, after I hit Diamond, that's when at that time, it was like 63 days or something where I advanced to Diamond. And by that time, 2 months into the business, the customers that I was helping in my first month were starting to get really good results. And then they started wanting to coach. So it takes, 2 to 3 months for your customers to get enough results where they're being confident enough to be able to do that. So you have to look fast forward ahead into your business and goals set accordingly. But it's a coach account that you have complete control over. So it's kind of silly for you not to work that. And then so with attraction marketing, are your vibes attracting results for everyone to see? Are you attracting the right tribe? So you're going to get what you ask for. And I always think about that when I post something. I'm almost like talking to a specific person. I'm talking to almost myself or my previous self when I started coaching or before I started coaching. Because that's who I like to work with. I love to work with other moms who want more for their life, who have a vision of where they want their family to be, down the road, financially free. So when I post, I'm specifically looking for go-getters who are maybe faith-oriented, who are family-oriented, and that comes out in my posts. So those are the people that I'm attracting in my business. So you get what you ask for, so you have to be very specific and don't be so general because when you do that, you're almost talking to nobody, right? So you guys have probably already done a lot of those exercises where you're trying to pinpoint like who your avatar is. So if you haven't done that, please take the time to do that. It's going to help you really speak to the right type of people. Okay. So the other thing so we're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about creating a funnel system. So I want you guys to think about like every month, think about what time of the year it is, what you're thinking about, because what you're thinking about is most likely what other people are going to be thinking about during that same time. So I know like this is the, 3rd or 4th year I've been, let's see, I just celebrated my 3rd year anniversary this year. So in the fall, like people love crock pot meals. I don't know what it is. So I always do a free crock pot group in October. So I already kind of have that planned. Let's see, I don't know, like the seasons always are a good time to do different things. There's back to school, like last month was a kids, lunch back to school group that I did. And then I'm doing a runners group right now because I'm a runner too and love to share runner inspiration with my followers. So that's what I'm doing. But think about what you are thinking about because that's probably what your followers are thinking about too. And then you can offer your free groups accordingly. So the reason I'm talking about free groups specifically is because that's a way for you to draw in from your cold market. So you already have your warm market, and those are people who have been following you on Facebook or your Instagram or whatever. But you can't build a business based on who you already know. You have to expand, you have to grow, and you have to be adding new contacts daily. I was put in Facebook jail a lot when I first started coaching because I was sending out so many friend requests. But I was kind of like, that was my job. That my job was to meet people and get into conversations with people. So that's what I did. But with your like page, you can boost events, you can boost posts, and those are people that you have no connection with whatsoever. So that's a really good way for you to grow and build relationships with people. So you can do that create that on your like page, and then create a eye-catching JPEG that you can also share it on Instagram. You can create a blog post on that and then pin it to Pinterest. You can embed a YouTube, description of whatever group you're offering. Snapchat, if you guys are on Snapchat, you can talk about, your free group starting to hit you up if you want to join or whatever it might be. But think of doing the most amount of shares for the least amount of work, right? So you create one nice JPEG that you can use at all these different outlets because you have different followers on all these, right? So it's just a way to work smarter and not harder. And then you can go in and into your ads and boost your event. And then for that, there's a whole nother training on that, and I'm not going to take too much of your time to talk about that, but you want to really pinpoint who you're working with. So for me, for my interest list, I only ever use 4 to 5 different interest lists. And I try to keep my audience between like 2 to 4 million, like the fewer, the better. And when I first started doing these, I thought like the more the better, because I wanted like as many people to see this as possible, but I was attracting nobody and entirely like the wrong type of people for my business. So I started keying in on, certain interests, and it's really brought better quality, qualified buyers to my business. Okay. So then you can open up your group and then share that Facebook group with people. Hopefully they will accept your friend request. Not all of them will. In your event, it's really important to engage with your people. You can ask them to take a poll, videos, do live video feed to get them talking and engaged with you. Because you're building the relationship right away from the point they first click that they want to join your event or they're interested. They're open to building a relationship with you. So you really have to almost jump on them when they're ready. And then I almost always help people get set up with their free Beachbody membership to join into a free group. I don't always do this, but I feel like if I'm going to invest my time in them, the least that they can do is be my customer and have the resources and tools available to them in a Beachbody account. So I'm asking them if they already have a coach they're working with or not. If they don't, then I encourage them to sign up for their free Beachbody membership, and then I add them into the group. And then you want to think of it as, like I said, a funnel system. So your goal is to build relationships, right? So it starts with a cold contact, get them into a free group. So there's no expectations of them buying anything. You're just still getting to know them. You're still getting to know what solution you have for their needs, whether it be the business opportunity or health and fitness goals, whatever it might be. It's all just building relationships at that point. And then hopefully at the end of your free group, you can do a live video explaining what comes next. If they want to continue support or have in-home fitness support, then they can join your challenge group starting on X date, right? And then once they get into your challenge group and get awesome results, it could be your next rockstar coach. So that's kind of what the progression is. You kind of want to think of it in steps, okay? If you are in a position where you can invest back in your business, I do highly recommend using the like page ads. It's really cheap advertising when you do it right. So you want to look at like how many cents per engagement each post is getting. Ideally you want to stick to like 10 cents a post if you can do that. Mine have not been that great, maybe like 19 cents per click for engagement, which is still pretty decent. But if you have one that you're boosting and it is just flopping, take it down and then go back and re-edit your interest list and see if you can figure that out so that you're getting better engagement, right? There are trainings that you can sign up for to educate yourself on how to do that and be more efficient with that. The Jesse Reagan is one that you guys have probably all heard of or seen. A lot of coaches have had a lot of success with signing up for his trainings and learning a lot to move their business forward and grow their like page. The main thing is just to find your niche and stay in their world. So when I have a new friend request or someone who accepts my friend request from my like page, I will put them in a Facebook interest list and continue building that relationship with them. I'll love on their posts. I'll get to know them. I'll shoot them a private message once in a while. Right. So send them a private message for common ground. So I look at their posts. I see what we might have in common if they're another mom, if they maybe have read the same book that I have liked or something like that, or if they're a runner, whatever it might be, like that's how you start conversations and get to know people. You want to find that common ground that you can, have a conversation with them about. Otherwise, they're going to feel like you're just totally selling them. They're going to see that you're talking about health and fitness and running groups, and they're like, oh, that person just wants me to, to buy something from them. And I don't know about you guys, but I've been prospected before, and it's like, yeah, whatever, I know what you're trying to do. You don't want to be that person. You just want to like have a genuine interest in them and get to know them before you send that invite, because you don't know what solution you can offer them until you get to know them and take that time to do that. So that's why I put them in an interest list so that I can, stay in their lives, stay in their world, and get to know them. You can use Instagram shoutouts, and this is something that Alyssa shared with me on how to do. So I Googled Instagram shoutouts, and there's a whole bunch of different pages that have a ton of followers, and you can hire them to post like one of your posts for likes or for engagement or for like, I've done it for coaching opportunity posts. So for example, they might want like $30 for 3 hours. So they will post it and they will try to get their followers, if they have, 50,000 followers or whatever it is. So all of their followers will see that post, and then you just have for more information, send me an email ad or drop your email below or whatever it might be that you want for you to get in touch with them. And then after the 3 hours are up, they'll screenshot you, or I follow that page, and during the whole process, the 3 hours or 2 hours, however long I have it going, I'm already trying to get into that person's Instagram page and liking and getting to know them already. So that way, hopefully, we'll be able to connect, and they'll be more likely to want more information and get to know me, and sign up for whatever, so that I can get them in a coach opportunity group, right? Outsource things that you aren't good at or don't have time for. So I am not a blogger, and that's one thing that's my blog still sucks after 3 years. But I feel like my primary way to grow my business is like page and Instagram. I've done some with Pinterest, but my blog, I have it and I post on it. I'm not very consistent, but that was one thing, I had no idea how to set one up. So I did hire that out. I hired someone to do my banner cover and just get the design layout how I needed it. And it was really affordable. You can go on Etsy and hire someone out, to do your banner for pretty affordable. I don't know, $50 or less. So you can shop around and do that just to get it up there. And then what I use my blog for are the questions that I get a lot. So when there's a new product launch, or questions that my customers ask me, or recipes that my customers are always asking me for. I put those on my blog, so that way it's really easy when people want something from me. I can just refer them back to my blog, or go click on my blog and grab the link and give it to them. So it saves me a lot of time, going through. Before I had that, I was going through my Facebook page and trying to find all this information. Or retyping everything. So it saves a lot of time to have kind of a hub where you can refer back to for stuff that people ask you a lot. And then hire a housekeeper or nanny. So one thing, before I started coaching, I was a stay-at-home mom, and with 4 kids, that consumed my entire day. And my house was always clean, and I always had home cooked meals every single day. And here come coaching, and it's that time went away, and it was, I was working a business at, during those times when I would have normally been cleaning or whatever. And it was kind of an adjustment for me to be able to let some stuff go. But I was in a call with, I don't know if it was Melanie or Alyssa or somebody, and she said something that made a whole lot of sense to me. She's like, is doing laundry going to earn you money, or is going out and networking and expanding your network and growing your business, is that going to earn you money? And it's well, laundry is not going to earn me money. So that is going to be one of those things that doesn't get done today. And it's okay. Kids have clean clothes to wear, and the house is, it is what it is. It's lived in. It's not spotless like it used to be, but I can live with it, So there might be some sacrifices along the way that you have to make. But at some point, I did have on my dream board to hire a nanny. So we did that, and it was amazing. She left us now, so we don't have a nanny anymore, or housekeeper. But if it helps take some of the stress off of your husband, it's pretty cheap. It was $30 for her to come for a day or for a few hours. So that if the house is a stressor for you guys, it might be one thing that you need to outsource, maybe even once a month, just to kind of take the edge off and do that for you, so that you can just feel good about having extra time to work your business. All right. And kind of the whole topic tonight is just expanding your business. And, know that you cannot build your business, build a legacy based on who you know today, but by the total combined number of future lives that you will impact. When I look at my team from a very small town, I didn't know probably 99.9% of the people that are in my organization. They were all people that I met on social media. And my life has been so blessed and enriched by the people that I've met and the lives that I've impacted, whether it be customer or coach. You guys have to just embrace that this business can be so beautiful and can bring so many wonderful relationships into your life. And, think ahead, you are building your dream team, right? So who you want to share this journey with and share this business with, it's in your control. And don't ever be afraid to share, coaching or the challenge groups with people. So I guess that's all I got for you. You guys have any questions for me at all? Kind of went through stuff pretty fast. I put that picture of Melanie's, so that was Summit, for those of you guys who are wondering about that. And, the reason I put that is because Melanie talks a lot about being from small town Mars, and, like when we all start, we have no idea how many people are going to want us for their coach or how many people are going to join our team. And it just starts with you. It starts with one person to make this decision that you are not going to stop and that you're going to commit yourself to growing this beautiful business. And it grows like a snowball at the top of a small mountain, the snowflake. And then it grows into a snowball, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger as you are consistent and as your momentum picks up and as your team takes off. It's going to be huge if you don't ever give up. And I just want to challenge you guys to be here, next year, be here 3 years from now. You will not regret ever, making this decision to grow this business and be that positive light in other people's lives. So that's all I got. Okay, I'm going to check questions here.
Way to go, girl. I want to add to something to that. I hear all the time that people say, like, I don't have anybody to invite. And I'm going to be doing a call for you guys. Let's see, not next week. Next week, we actually have Autumn Calabrese on the call. I'm going to stop recording this for a second.
Can I answer a question here, Alyssa, first? All right, so from Alicia. I mentioned friending men because the wives or female friend may be interested. Do I send invites to men also? I do. So I do have some guys on my team, and they are people that I specifically felt like I could work really well with them, even though they're not my target niche. If I see something in them, like let's say they're interested in fitness, or I just really believe that they're a family guy, they have their values in alignment, of course, I will send them an invite. Like, who wouldn't, right? But I don't specifically go out looking for men, if that makes any sense. And like challengers, sometimes you can feel them out and invite them to a challenge group. Like I'm using Body Beast right now, which is kind of a guy's guide, program. So I might, just say, hey, I'm doing a Body Beast group, next month or whatever. If I want to maybe run a couples group, me and my husband have done them together and just run them as a couples group, so it's not so weird. But as a way to share kind of the business side of what we do too, to get them into a challenge group might be an easy way to ease it in. And then you can feel out that person and see if you think that they would be a good person for your team or not. I don't know if that answers your question. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, awesome. I'm out of it today, guys. That's why I don't want to be on the recording. Let me stop this that way.